always liked this one. This might be his best ever. I think he'd say the hit. They just sound better. Pat LaFontaine did his best Bobby Orr imitation this week. Unfortunately, he didn't win the Stanley Cup. Okay, folks, get your Wayne Gretzky mugs ready because the great one can still light it up. Watch this bullet drive. But he's not the sniper of the week. Here's the sniper, little-known Vancouver Canuck forward, who puts it the only place it could go. Apparently, this uniform is catching on around the league. Brian O'Neill will review these tapes. Apparently, you're not allowed to yell, "Pile on!" Save of the week, gotta be Grant Fuhr. What a beauty on Dirk Graham. Or maybe the save is this one by Pittsburgh forward Wendell Young. Now you're saying Pittsburgh forward? I mean, why else would he be stick handling? You know, I'm not sure how to describe it.
Something smells about that, and the stench and the odor that's coming from that is malodorous.
Apparently, Ken McRae said to Andy Moog, "You're smelling a bit malodorous yourself." Andy didn't like it. Speaking of shots to the head, Mike Farr, what an ugly one that was, but he's okay. Or Eric Kramer. Watch his head bend. I don't think it's supposed to go this way. Maybe John Elway took too many shots to the head. Why else was he throwing passes to the Buffalo Bills? But that wasn't the worst pass. Here it is, Andre Ware. He still has a no-hitter going in his career. Never yet hit a receiver. There was one great catch this week. Watch this beauty. We always say Thurman Thomas can do it all. He really can. Here's the play of the week in the NBA by the Spurs. Everything going behind the back. Watch the fake of the week. Sherman Douglas looks right, goes left. Patrick Ewing goes, "Whoa, where'd he go?" Hey, Pat, you got to keep your eye on the ball like Todd Lichty. I think he left his eye on the ball. Dennis Rodman just not getting the shaves he used to. Iran Barkley. Whoa, wake up, Iran, because, boom, you're going to lay someone out. That wasn't the hit of the week. Here it is. Carl the Truth Williams. What a shot. Lots of criticism this week for George Bush. Watch him hogging the ball. Barbara's wide open in front of the net. Come on, George. And someone called the animal rights people. I mean, this is awful. Look what they make this squirrel do. This is terrible. They make him ski slalom with trick skis. That's awful. Employees of the week, where all the big names were there, from politics, from entertainment. In fact, it looked like a college football game. So paint your faces and let's get ready for some fun. Let's go trick or treating. And this was the week when there were many tricks and many treats. For receivers, all kinds of treats. Look at Pete Holohan. He gets a gift. But there were far greater gifts than that. Wesley Carroll says, "Thanks very much for the treat." And Chris Burkett, it touches one hand, two hands, three hands, and then finally his hands. But the biggest treat of all, Michael Haynes in the end zone for the Atlanta Falcons. Make this Michael White Shoes Haynes because he wins it right there. But there were some treats as well for receivers like Todd Wiseman's treat on Matt Clark. Get ready, and boom. Thanks for coming to the door, Matt. Now, let's slide over to some winter sports. And John Cullen asked the question this week, is it better to give than to receive? Well, John Cullen gave this week, but he also received, like this, from Tim Chevelday. Thanks very much, Tim. Enjoyed it. Not all goaltenders were giving things away. Like Andy Moak, look at the save on Wayne Gretzky, label for the corner. But the save of the week, actually two saves of the week by Kelly Rudy. Watch his left pad extend and extend. That could hurt a guy. What a beautiful save, and so is the second one. You know it's dangerous when there's a full moon over a hockey rink. How about Owen Nolan with the mugging of the year on Joe Sorella? And the worst thing about this, no penalty. Ref, come on. And if there's a full moon over the Boston Garden, that can mean big trouble. I guess Detroit and Boston were probably saying, hey, old-time hockey, right? Well, let's do it. And can these guys do it or what? Bob Probert and Stefan Cantel. Cost them 10 games, but they had some fun. Now, in the NBA, they say you can't play zone defenses. So Ramil Robinson says, what shall we do? Well, how about the shoe defense? Well, it was Halloween this week. Perhaps the best costume this week, Elijah Tillery in the black trunks. He went dressed as a boxer. Don't think that Riddick Bowe was too crazy about his costume. Well, before we go, Freddie, one more thing to do. We'll show you the camera work of the year. Watch this cameraman hang in there, take the shot, and he never lost his focus. Actually, that sounds somewhat spiritual. We begin with some rare bowling on Plays of the Week. Yes, bowling's time has come. This is the Canadian Olympic bowling team, and these guys forgot their balls at home. The coach said, hey, guys, you forgot your balls. What are you going to do about it? Pretty good response, but it had some people like George Foreman pretty confused.
What is this, target practice for him or something? But I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
I think he's back. Now let's get the steal of the week, and now the alley-oop and call of the week.
Little showtime, yes, sir! Yes, sir! Oh, Nelly! That is phenomenal!
A bit Somewhat annoying, but he is kind of fun. Now, what would he say about this guy, Luther White? You'd say, oh, baby, he's 7'1", and he can't dunk. Here's the dunk of the week. Now, guys with blue skin have always been good dunkers. Sorry, Mark Aguirre, you were close but didn't make it. Now, look at Moses Malone. The guy can't hit a 10-footer, but he hits a 50-footer. Okay, let's go to football and some great catches, like Jack Harris and like John Taylor with the novel victory celebration. Oh, what a hit. John Freeze had the perfect pass. John says, hey, I threw it. I hit the guy right in the numbers. What's the problem? Wrong numbers, John. Hey, Maurice Carthon, ever been on a helicopter? Ever been a helicopter? Here's the play of the year, possibly. Tony Easel, the quarterback, says, hey, coach, what's the play? What's the play? Then he zooms downfield, a variation off the old sleeper play. That's outstanding. Let's go to hockey now and some textbook body checks, like Brian Marchment. And Bob Probert, you know, the guy's hit everyone on every other team, so he's got to start with guys on his own team. Let's go to the pass of the week. Kelly Rudy, perfect pass to Joe Sakic. Give that guy an assist. Now, not all goaltenders were quite so charitable. Andy Moog, beautiful save. Bill Ranford, watch this one. Watch this save. Beautiful save. I don't know why my voice always goes like that. How about Pat Conacher? This one might be the goal of the week. It's a beautiful move around the defender. He moves in. I always whisper on the goals. And there's a great shot. Maybe not a great shot, but still an effective one. But here's the goal of the week. Steve Yzerman, dipsy doodle. He has one like that every week. Some sensational basketball this week, like Stacey King, who says, yeah, I meant to do it like that. Hakeem Olajuwon with a big-time slam in the face of David Robinson. Now look at the right. Charles Barkley intimidated by Scott Brooks, and then Brooks manhandles Barkley. Yeah, right. You know, Michael Jordan's got a personal coach. That's behind him, behind the bench, reading from a book and coaching him. So Jordan says, do you mean just like this? I mean, it just keeps getting better and better. First of all, the alley-oop, then the great pass. But we're not done yet. Jordan sails into the rafters. But here, flat out, is the play of the year by Michael Jordan. Up, up, down, and a gravity-defying shot. And the coach says, yep, just the way I told you to do it. Perfect. Let's go to Indianapolis, where Robert Irsay continues to hire puppets to work for him. You know, Deion Sanders, yeah, prime time, big-time play. Also a bit of a big-time goofball, if you don't mind me saying. Let's go to a new sport this week, synchronized interception returns. Reggie Rutland and Audrey McMillan make it work perfectly. All the excitement of synchro swimming without the nose plugs. Speaking of guys working well together, Chris Dishman and Bo Orlando. Speaking of a guy not working well with anyone on the field, Jeff Query. Jeff, just let it bounce. Meanwhile, Matt Stouffer looking for all kinds of disguises this week. He had the worst kick perhaps ever. I mean, what is that, Matt? Let's go to hockey. You've heard of the slot, the high slot. Where does Ray Bourque shoot this one from? 100-footer. And he picked the corner. Perhaps the pass of the week in the NHL. Rob Cimetta from his belly. Perfect feed to Todd Gill, who for a change was in the right position. Big saves this week. Ken Reggett, what a beauty. Tim Chevelday, watch this one, anticipating sliding across. Yes, and Rick Walmsley, one-on-one with Steve Yzerman, and Walmsley beats him. Speaking of getting beat, look at the beating that Todd Ewan applies on this guy. Or Brad May, crunching body check and using the glass. That's nasty. Andrew Castles, a big check, but he also took a big check. Mike Ramsey, yes, over the hip. More big hits this week. I know we all feel very sorry for Ty Domi. Such a likable guy. Takes a real shot from Nick Kiprios. Now, let's go to college wrestling, and Gary Galley scores 2 points for the takedown on Mike Krushelnicki.
He does it. Why not catch a ride to the hard court? Might as well go head first into the action, where even the big guy, Santa Claus, is working on his free throws. But careful of the key, Santa, because you just might trip over it. I wonder what happened. You don't have to wonder how Blue Edwards makes this shot, just pure athletic skill. Even Charles Barkley has to admire the effort. Hey, where you going? Relax, kick back and stick around, because these plays are going to be a big hit. I mean a really big hit. So grab a partner. It's okay. Come on, guys. Don't be shy. Tell a friend, or at least try to. Don't be embarrassed. At least you didn't score on yourself. Right, Peter Ing? Oh, I'm sorry. You too, Kelly Rudy. Maybe you just didn't get a long enough look at the shot. Ray Bourque shoots from 160 feet away and... oops. Puts it in. Hats off to that goal. But as usual, some guys take things so literally. These two Bears are no exception to that rule. Speaking of rules, how many did the Atlanta Falcons break when with just seconds remaining they refused to sit on the ball after intercepting it? Instead, Primetime and company decided to try to run it back for a touchdown. And they might have done it, if not for the forward lateral. That just drives coaches crazy. So as we come to the end of the jam session, it's time to dump out of this session of the Plays of the Week. We'll leave you with something to chew on.
Could be more bad news for the Bears. They have to, could be more bad news for the Bears.
That's a real eye-opener. Take it this week, but Calgary goalie Mike Vernon did, thanks to this terrific stop on Dan Quinn's breakaway. Peter Stastny of the Devils breaks in on Mike Richter of the Rangers, and Richter wins this duel with a nice stick save. And how about this pretty sliding save by Hartford's Kay Whitmore against Buffalo's Alexander McGillney? Not every goalie had a great week. Darren Pupa wishes he had this one back against New Jersey's Doug Brown. And you can bet Peter Ing would play this puck a little differently if given another opportunity. And what was Kay Whitmore thinking here? Ray Bourque hits an 8-iron from about 160 feet away that just mesmerizes the Whalers goalie. Christmas is a time for giving, so how about this gift from Pittsburgh goalie Wendell Young to Pierre Turgeon of the Islanders? Let's break away from saves and check out some breakaways. First up, Jeff Norton of the Islanders against Chris Terreri of the Devils. Mario Lemieux is sent in all alone against Grant Fuhr. No contest. Third, Fleury breaks out shorthanded against the Flyers, and he puts this one past Kenny Regan. Now, for the goal of the week, Kevin Lowe dives at the puck and knocks it past Mike Vernon. Just a super effort.
And superstitious signals, but a year when spontaneous and strange things happened out on the ice. At the Spectrum, goalie Ron Hextall has the puck swiped by a shark, David Bruce. Hextall makes a great recovery, but the rebound is off Terry Karkner's skate, and it's in. Peter Stastny with a stick is deadly, even from center ice. The best goalie in the league, Patrick Waugh, wasn't the best on this bad hop. Patrick agrees. Peter Stastny with a stick is deadly. But without one, he's pretty ordinary. Brian Benning of the Kings doesn't have a stick, so he steals Stastny's. Stripped of his shillelagh, Stastny can only skate and protest. And when his protest goes unheeded, it's time to take the law into his own hands. When Benning goes to the bench, so does Stastny. In Hartford, one scuffle produces a scuffle of a verbal kind. Linesman Dan Shakti notices something he wants referee Dennis Morrell to call. Morrell isn't interested. But Shakti is emphatic. Speaking of persistence, late in a tie game with Edmonton, Kevin Stevens of the Penguins scores, but the goal is disallowed. The tie game goes into overtime. Stevens is taken down and winds up underneath an Oiler, but this time from flat on the ice, his stick catches a Paul Coffey shot, it's in, and the game is over. Fans have carried TVs for years, but this year, other TVs were waiting to make calls. Joe Kocur of the Rangers rips one, and there's a question about it. While everyone waits, the tape is reviewed. Watch this one. The puck appears to go through the net. This was ruled a goal. The Penguins still didn't buy it and couldn't find any evidence. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, at Joe Louis Arena, an angry Ed Belfour, pulled from the game, goes on a field goal rampage with some hockey sticks and anything else he can find. Biggest night deposit, Buffalo's Mike Ramsey on 210-pound Vladimir Ruzicka. Biggest night out, hockey in the open air at Caesars Palace, and a helmet cam worn by Kelly Rudy. Interesting pictures. And the Kings' Tony Granato got the first NHL goal in a parking lot. The closing arguments are made, and Judge Wapner sides with Shakti. He wins. It was a year for dressing old and dressing weird. A year for rock and roll. A year for Waugh and Rowley. A Trojan ice scaler and an ecstatic ice whaler. The wind-up to a great 91.
The best and the most interesting players and narrowed them all down. And here they are, our Nissan Plays of the Week. All right, we launch our plays of the week with a real problem in the NFL. You know, with these clumsy face masks, you just can't give a guy a peck on the cheek if you want to. Some great catches this week, like Mario Bailey of Washington. And watch this one by Brian Stabliner of Ohio State. May not have got his feet down, but he certainly got his head down. In the NFL, Haywood Jeffries, what a beauty. Now, let's go to some volleyball. Keith McKellar gets it started, saves it. Now here's the set and the spike. Speaking of a spike, how about one right through the heart of every Dallas Cowboy fan? 8 guys have a shot at Barry Sanders, but no one can bring him down. What a move that was. What a great run by Barry Sanders. Now, let's go to basketball, and the shots of the week were not made by any of the mascots. Certainly not made by Dominique Wilkins. Certainly not made by Brian Hopgood, who brings new meaning to the word airball. Here's some candidates. Doc Rivers, nice, but not the best. David Robinson, playing like a guy 6 feet tall. What a beautiful move that is. But here's the shot of the week from a player from Holy Cross. From about 80 feet away, it tips off one guy's hand. You're saying, nah, can't go in, can't go in, can't go in. It went in. Let's go to hockey. Is this the save of the week? Are these the saves of the week by Don Beaupre? Wendell Clark's back. Just asked Vladimir Konstantinov. And he says, hey, Joss Lemieux, just wanted to let you know I'm back and playing. Clark's not the goon of the week. Here's the goon of the week, the guy who hit Essa Tikkanen. Oh, what a brutal shot. Wait, that's Wayne Gretzky. Must have been a one-timer, right? He goons him again. The cheap shot of the week, Dino Cicerelli on Kirk McLean. Boom. Robert Dirk says, hey, Dino, no hard feelings. Pick up your head just a little bit. No hard feelings. Boom. The worst headache this week didn't belong to this guy. Probably not a guy. I'm not quite sure what he is. Maybe Brad May and Eric Weinreich. They both drill their heads into the wall. Great goals this week. Robert Reichel, what a beauty. How about this one by Pat LaFontaine? Look at the moves. Left, right, he scores. But here's the save of the week. The bounce off the boards. It's in front of the net. And Guy Hebert. Who knows Guy Hebert? Well, now everybody knows him.